Yo, what it do, everybody? This your man Dre, aka Dreonwheels. This is episode 21 of the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. What's going on with everybody out there? Appreciate you guys joining me here for a new week, a new episode. You dig, man? Good morning, good night, good afternoon to all my listeners all over the world, all my listeners in the States, man, Canada, Germany, the UK. I appreciate you guys joining me here on a new episode, wherever you listen to me at. I appreciate you subscribe to the 1130 podcast, leave a 5-star rating and a review. You dig, man? And don't forget to follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. But you guys, man, this week's episode here on Talk Pro Wrestling, I got my guest Tyree Taylor. You guys, he's the wig splitter, he's the big boy, independent pro wrestler. You guys, from Brooklyn, New York. He's going to be joining me here in just a bit. But before we get to that, I want to shout out my guest who was on last week, all the way from Louisville, Kentucky. You know, it's crazy crap that's going on in Louisville right now. But my man, Freddie Hudson, Paradigm Pro Wrestling Champion, he got a big matchup with Myron Reed coming up, man. That's going to be dope tomorrow, man. But you guys, man, my guest this week, like I was saying, my man Tyree Taylor, you guys, the wig splitter, the big boy. He was trained by WWE Hall of Famer Booker T. You can catch him at Warriors of Wrestling, Chaotic Wrestling, Limited Wrestling, man. Every wrestling, man. You can catch him in wrestling. You dig, man? My man Tyree Taylor, what's going on with you?
Yo, nothing much, man. You know, just another day, another dollar, ready to kick it with my guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
ready
man.
for it. That come correct, you heard?
Yeah.
What's going on, brother?
Hey, I feel wonderful, man. I feel wonderful. I appreciate you joining me here, man. Hey, I love your enthusiasm, man.
Listen, if you gonna be in a good mood, I'm in a good mood. This is gonna be a good podcast. I already feel it on me. I feel it, brother.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes,
man.
sir.
Hey, I know you're an independent pro wrestler, though, but can you tell my listeners a little something about you and something you into?
All right. First and foremost, I'm the heavy hitter, wig splitter, never quitter, big boy from Brooklyn, Tyree Taylor, trained under WWE Hall of Famer Johnny Rodz and also WWE Hall of Famer Booker T. Now currently training under Chase Del Monte in New England right here. So 9 years strong and ain't stopping no time soon, brother. All up and down the East Coast, just making my way downtown, walking fast. Now, I mean.
Okay, man. That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Oh, yeah.
You said 9 years. You've been in the wrestling business 9 years?
Yes.
Okay. What inspired you to become a pro wrestler?
I've always watched it, but I'm a baseball player by trade. Okay. So I grew up playing baseball. That's what I wanted to be, wanted to do. I actually had a scout play, watched me play, felt like I was this close to being drafted, but then, he disappeared off the face of the planet. So, as a 17-year-old kid, what are you supposed to do? Especially from Brooklyn, you don't get many of those opportunities, So, you got to create something from your own. So I thought, hey, why not do something a little bigger than myself? Why not do something you've always loved, you always enjoyed watching with you and your family and everything like that, and make a call to a couple schools, see which one is available, and talk to a man named Johnny Rodz, and pay my tuition, took my first bump, and it was all history from there. Oh yes.
Okay. That's what's up, man. That's cool story. I've been watching your matches, man, all over YouTube, man. Like you tell me, man. Just type in Tyree Taylor Wrestling, man, and it seemed like you got a rivalry with Dexter, man. What's going on with you and Dexter?
See, little Dexter, he's a student in Warriors of Wrestling there. Had to show him what's up when I was first there, and then he tried to go at it again, got stomped out. And then, he got the best of me. It's COVID time. You know what I mean? It's COVID time. So you could, I'm trying to get in and out and do my business. Can't really lift like I want to. So he called me best place at the best time. You know what I'm saying? So he caught a good one on me. And whenever he wants to see it, he can see these hands. Real talk.
Yeah.
But kid is talented, but he has a lot of heart. And whenever he's ready to run into a brick wall again, I'm ready.
Okay. Well, you mentioned, it's Corona time. How you been maintaining throughout the whole Corona, situation now?
I've been actually pretty okay. Um, I've got a personal trainer since gyms were closed. Um, you couldn't really wrestle, so I had to make do. This time is all about adjustments and what you can do to adjust to these times, and try to keep my mind right, because that's another fear people have when in quarantine. Having their mental health, the damage when it
Yeah,
comes to this time in quarantine and isolation, and just going straight forward, try to get past this. So when we all are free from this pandemic here, I can hit the ground running. So just try to adjust as best as I can.
true, true, true.
Mhm.
Can you tell me about Prolific?
Oh my guys, oh my
Yeah.
boy. All right, so you got Prolific is one of the best up and coming factions you'll see, especially along the East Coast, man. First and foremost, you got the American Gangster Isaiah Wolf, very talented. Very talented. He's actually the mouthpiece of the group. He's the wild child, so to speak. And then you got the Marquis State of Mind, Marcus Marquis. That's our soul brother. That's our. If you need a poem, if you need some uplifting, if you need some sort of he's the rock of the group, so to speak.
Okay.
And you got the heavy hitter wig splitter, never quitter. And you got the big man in the middle. You know what I mean? Just give me the hole, I dunk it home. You know what I mean? And you got your boys in pro. Live it.
That's what's up, man. I like it. I really dig it, man. I really dig it.
Yeah.
Man, you have a lot of charisma, man, and some humor. I can tell it, man, already. Where do you see yourself in 5 years in the wrestling business?
Traveling, heavy. Around that time, the next 5 years is considered prime season. You know what I'm saying? Especially around, because I'm 28 now. So, 5 years, 30, 35, between that, big things popping, little things stopping. So, in 5 years time, I would love to be traveling. Japan, Mexico, big time wrestling hotbed, so to speak, and, getting popping down there. And hopefully I'll have the blessing to one day wind down, maybe own the school, something like that. And, try to get to as high as possible.
Okay, cool. You have any dream opponents in mind?
Yeah. Okay, so one of my I wouldn't call him a mentor, but he's more of an inspiration to me, and his name is Shane Taylor, Ring of Honor. He was actually a tag team partner when I was in Reality Wrestling. Won the tag champions down there, and I don't think he realizes how his time by me, how his time next to me as a team, kind of really inspired me to do what I do. And what better way to repay his inspiration than to punch him in the face a couple times? You know what I mean? So,
Okay.
So he's one of the people that I think we can make absolute magic. I think he's probably one of the guys there. I also have a list. If you check out my Instagram, I have a list of people who I want to get the hands from, courtesy of the heavy hitter.
Okay.
So
Okay, I be most definitely will be checking that out. So you said Shane Taylor you want to go
yeah,
one-on-one with.
absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely.
that's cool. Shane Taylor, man, if you listening, man, Tyree Taylor, man, want to go one-on-one with you, man. And also Shane Taylor will be here on the 11:30 podcast Talk Pro Wrestling next month here on
Oh, all
Talk
right.
Pro Wrestling. So it's going to be dope, man. It's going to be a dope interview.
Nice, yes.
It's a lot going on in the country right now, and
Mm-hmm.
I was following you on Facebook. I seen you one of your previous posts from last night because
Yeah.
with the whole situation with Breonna Taylor and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. What's
Absolutely.
your thoughts on blacks in America right now?
Do we have time? Okay. So I don't know what the profanity rate is. I don't know how your beat button is, but um, so
Just speak your mind.
these times are very trying, and they're almost like we're kind of reverting back into those days, um, and where some folks may say America was great,
Mm-hmm.
uh, but if you have followed me on Facebook or Instagram, you know I'm very vocal when it comes to my people and what we go through on the daily. I don't. I I think there's a big amount of suppression going on. Um, I think we are considered a bigger threat than what we actually are. I think there's systemic racism. Obviously, I think there's bigger ploy out there that we need to be cognizant of, um, and I feel that the decision was utterly egregious. Not only because the facts that were given are you would if it was anybody else, you would say there's a verdict and that guy should be in jail.
Exactly.
But there, that decision was it hurt because not only was the warrant not for her or the boyfriend,
Mm-hmm.
the guy didn't live there. The guy was in custody, from what I heard. The guy they were looking for was already in custody. So for them to have a no knock warrant or whatever is a joke. They didn't want to give the signed documentation to the family. Why? Why wouldn't you? If it was justified, why wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? Am I off here? You know, it's a slap in the face of our intelligence, and we are not stupid. These I was just talking to somebody today. This generation of people, especially the younger guys, are very they don't take no shit. So
Mm-hmm.
they don't take no shit. So we are ready for some real reform. We're ready for some real justice, and we're gonna continue to fight like our ancestors did. Real talk.
Right about that, man. I agree with you. Man.
Hmm.
That whole situation with the whole Breonna Taylor,
Yeah,
man, I just think that was just a cover up. They got exposed now, and they trying to retract their tracks. So it's
exactly.
it's it's crazy.
When you have the people who one has says, oh, Second Amendment is for people who break in the house, right? Now, if you have a no-knock warrant, you're not going to announce yourself, and so now you're a threat to me, and then I shoot off at you, and then you shoot somebody who's in the bed. Like, if you're police, you see a gun, announce yourself, hey, police, I'm putting the gun down. What's going on, right? So and then now they want to say that, oh, they announced when people around there said, hey, they didn't announce.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an absolute joke that a bullet that missed got more justice than one that actually hit a person. So it's very sad. It's very sad, and there's a special spot in hell for those guys.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But
Yeah,
we're gonna move on
absolutely.
here. We're gonna
Hmm.
move on here on the 11:30 podcast.
Yeah,
Speaking of blacks, man, in wrestling, what do you think about the Hurt Business?
hurt business. Hurt business are the right four guys, so to speak. So I've been around MVB a couple times, and his mind is very, very, very potent. And once he grips on to something, an
Mm-hmm.
idea or something like that, he's going to elevate that idea. He's going to elevate the personnel that he has, which he's done an amazing job. He came on the Raw when he came back to retire.
Yeah, he really did. Yeah, I
came
heard that
back
was his last match. He just
Yeah.
did it for his son.
And came back and snatched that role up to guys who have been who are there and said, hey, let me class you up, and we're gonna do some big things on this television. And you know, my issue is with some people, you know, that's a new Nation of Domination. Not every black team has to be Nation of Domination. So you got 4 guys who are smooth brothers. You know, they're cold, calculated, real debonair, and you know, down to put on some hurt.
Exactly.
And you know, you can't really class that into something else. That's how we get caught up in representation and stuff like that. We can do that without having to be the Black Panther Party in wrestling. You know, stuff like that. And we have proper representation as of now with the Hurt Business. So I fucks with whatever they do.
Okay, I dig it, man. I really dig it though.
Oh yeah.
But you guys, man, I got my man Tyree Taylor, man, all the way from Brooklyn, New York, here on the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. Yo, you guys, we're gonna hop right back in and talk a little bit more, a bunch of more actually wrestling right after the break. We're gonna take a short break and we'll be right back here on Talk Pro Wrestling.
When it comes to growing your podcast, it's tough to know where to start. That's why Anchor gives podcasters the tools they need to make each episode better than the last. Now, Anchor Analytics includes new stats from Spotify to help you better understand who's listening and what they like about your show. With charts that let you see how far people are making it into each episode and where they're dropping off, you can plan your podcast around the content that performs best. Hover over to see how many people are tuning into specific segments and learn what hooks your audience by comparing the average listening time across multiple episodes. Using anonymized demographic data from Spotify, take a granular look at the age and gender of your listeners to start tailoring your content or targeting new audiences. Track analytics from multiple platforms and Spotify insights. Everything you need to grow your podcast, all in one place with Anchor.
Yo, you guys, before we hop back into the podcast, I want to tell you about listener support. Yo, listener support helps me out big time with this podcast. As far as setting up equipment, getting guests, you name it, you guys. Click the link in the description, you guys. Click the link in the description, and you can support this podcast with a small monthly subscription, man. For real. With 99 cents a month, $4.99 a month, $9.99 a month. Click the link in the description, you guys. Listener support. Help me keep making these podcasts so I can keep doing them, you guys, man, just for you. Yo, you guys, welcome back here to the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. I got my guest, Tyree Taylor, in the building, you guys, man. We're going to talk more about some wrestling. What's your thoughts on Randy Orton right now?
Oh, man. Oh. He might be... I don't know how much flack I'm going to get for this one. He might be the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
He is so meticulous, and the little things matter so much.
Yeah.
And you can definitely see it. Oh, it's a treat. Like, even when he was like, you know, a lot of people, oh, he's too slow, he's too methodical, stuff like that. Everything meant something, and he knows how to get from A to B flawlessly. I have not seen a trash match from Randy Orton, so he's up there. He's up there for me.
Yeah,
he's up there.
He is. I was asking the guest, my man, the man they called Dave from Working Fans podcast a couple of weeks ago, and I was asking him, you know, who was the greatest in the last 15 years in WWE between John Cena and Randy Orton? Who was the greatest? And I know John Cena done went off and. You know, of course, you know, he's been there for a long time and nothing he, you know, did or does can be matched. But Randy Orton is still here. And, man, like, he just took his character to another level. So I'm going to ask you, you know, who would you consider the greatest WWE superstar between John Cena and Randy Orton, you know, from the last 15 years?
Randy Orton. Randy Orton. John can John has that sort of energy, that presence. I was saying off air here. Cena can gravitate a crowd of people to engage in whatever he's doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is great and it's amazing. But when it comes to the art of professional wrestling, and it comes to the having the mind and psychology, that's where I lead towards. Because if I do that right and I do that for a long time, the people are going to get to me anyway. The people are going to gravitate to what I do anyway. And if I do my job correct every time, there's nothing that can stop a person like myself. So, Randy has been, he's Randy Orton. Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
Randy
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Shane McMahon returned to Monday Night Raw this past Monday for the first time in a little bit, but he was only there just to promote WWE Raw Underground. I want to ask you what's your thoughts on Underground or Raw Underground.
I think it's fun. I think it's a nice little ripple. It gives people who just sitting and catering something to do and making them look good and still introducing new people. I was watching on Monday that Ziggler was there with some other guy. He was, you could tell he's legit and stuff like that. And you forget that he's Kent State Hall of Famer when it comes to his wrestling and when it comes to amateur wrestling. So he looked amazing. He looked legit. Like he can still go. He can still be as smooth as ever. So putting people in positions to win are always my favorite. So Raw Underground gets a thumbs up for me.
Okay, I think that's a first. I'd be asking a couple of people, and they would probably be like, it's okay, but I dig it. It gives me the first time I saw it, I said it gave me Def Jam vibes. So
yeah, Def Jam
cool.
Yeah,
it gives me that. What you think about Keith Lee since coming to Monday Night Raw?
Keith Lee has also been an inspiration to me, especially as a big man. I've also spent a little bit of time with him being Shane Taylor's partner for a little while, and getting to meet him a couple of times, talking to him. He's had that mindset since I've met him, and most likely since before he started wrestling. So Keith is very, very humble, very inspiring person. So he's already won to me. He's already won.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He won, but I don't like the way they kind of like booking him in a way. Like I understand Randy don't want Randy to take a L, and also Keith Lee, but put Keith Lee up against somebody who he can have a match with.
He won this debut.
Yeah, he did. He beat Randy
clean.
in Payback. Whatever pay-per-view that was, he beat Randy.
Clean.
Yeah, so, but, on Raw, it seems like he just keep fighting Randy, and it just ended in DQ matches because Drew McIntyre keep interfering and stuff. So.
Yeah, but then you got to put someone else in that position, and at that point, who's credible enough to do that? So that's just kind of part of booking that people don't seem to understand. You got to know who's ready at that moment to have that position. So it's because Drew has been more that like neutral, and so you got to have a hot baby face, especially Keith, who can be in that position to do so. I don't see how babyface being credible enough to maybe possibly beat McIntyre, to have matches like that, to beat Randy, stuff like that, as of now. So it's a very now business. So now Keith Lee's that guy. So
okay,
I understand. Unless they bring somebody up to fill those shoes, I don't disagree with the booking.
Okay, cool. What's your thoughts on Uso versus Reigns?
Fun storyline. It gives Jay something to do while Jimmy's out, and they have a whole bunch of stories and stuff they could drag out weeks for. and like pictures and all that good stuff. And you know, we get to see what heel Reigns is like.
Okay.
You know, in that position, we get to see what that is. While I guess creative can, you know, figure out what's going on next after him. You know, so you know, I don't mind that story at all. Actually, you know, I enjoy watching.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun. I'm
Mm-hmm.
really looking forward to it this Sunday. Also, Bray Wyatt got a new Firefly Fun House member this past week on Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah.
Man, it's interesting. And also with Alexa Bliss, you know, with that thing going on right there, I'm really digging that. What's your thoughts on that?
I love when they have something good and then they put it in the crock pot, let it simmer up for a little while. You know what I'm saying? And you think you have an idea where it's going, and then it can turn any time. You know, when Bray is on, he is on. He's one of those guys. He's creatively, he can run a promotion. He can run a promotion. He can run a characters class. He can run whatever. And I'll pay my money to see him do that. And he's taken so many L's coming into being the Fiend, and you know, people not putting him in a position to win, and putting himself in a position to win, just by being creative, and them letting him do what he got to do to succeed. So Bray Wyatt, I'm here for whatever Bray Wyatt got to do.
Okay. So
and he's not trash in the ring too, so that helps.
Exactly. From the sound
You
of
know?
it. From the sound of it, it seemed like you enjoyed the Firefly Fun House match at WrestleMania.
I did, actually. You know, again, when it comes to the pandemic, you got to do something different. And you know, people are not there, so you're not going to get a organic reaction like you would in a packed house at WrestleMania. So why not give people something to watch? Why not give them something to think about? You know, and why not give them an opportunity to enjoy the details instead of just having a match and, you know, you having like 5 minutes to try to get over a storyline that couldn't really be over in about 5-6 minutes with some good theatrics, you know. So like I said, put them in position to win. You know, some people, it's going to be a culture shock to certain people. So, you know, you got to worry about the criticism, whatever. But when you know what you're watching, you know you like it.
Exactly.
You know, so, you know, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
Okay. With WrestleMania, didn't have no fans till SummerSlam. We got the WWE Thunderdome. Are you digging the WWE Thunderdome or not?
Again, you would want people there.
Exactly.
Even if it's just the boys. It reminds me of some sort of like Digimon episode, some sort of Coliseum thing, Blade Runner, you know. But I mean, you got to do what you got to do until the people come back, and that's a decent step. I'm not gonna trash it because at the end of the day, people get to see themselves on TV like they did in March. So you know, it's a good start. It's a good start.
Yeah, the last Monday Night Raw was actually here in DC, so that was like a cool thing. But the WWE Thunderdome is okay, but can't wait for fans to come back though.
Yeah, of course.
What's your thoughts on how NXT is going so far?
Well, especially with the call-ups of a lot of the guys, you know, you got to kind of see who can fill those roles, as with Keith Lee and Dijak and stuff like that. You got to see who's going to fill those spots. You know what I'm saying? Because there is a thing of a roster being too thin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you gotta create stars, you gotta see who's ready to come up, who's ready to take those spots that those guys left when they moved up. So I want to see this transition of NXT now, but I've always been a fan of NXT. NXT has been, if you really want to see the freedom of a professional wrestler, you watch NXT.
Okay, my man. Before we wrap it up, what's your favorite wrestling match?
Oof. My favorite wrestling match would probably not even be in WWE.
Okay, that's cool.
It's the triple threat matches. I was just explaining earlier. Triple threat matches. AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe.
Okay.
Those guys went. I could watch that again. I could watch that again and again. Those matches were very unique. Styles make matches, and those three different styles were no pun intended, were very, very, very enjoyable to watch. And I would watch it any time of the day.
Right. I gotta say, man, my favorite wrestling match is in WWE, and I might be a little biased because one of my favorite superstars is in the match, and it's The Rock. So,
of course,
18, The Rock versus Hollywood Hulk Hogan. That match and the fans,
that was magnetic.
That was
magnetic.
One guy looked this way and the other guy looked that way, and then just everything about that match, man, was just awesome.
See, if you want people to be invested in the match and be magnetic and stuff like that, be electrifying, as he would say, you watch that match. That match is you want people to do what you want. That's the match you'll watch. So I do appreciate that match as well. That's definitely how it works as well.
Yo, man. Tyree Taylor, man, I appreciate you joining me here on the podcast. Before you go, man, any shout outs, man? Also, where they can follow you at and where they can be see you wrestle at, man, coming weeks or months.
Listen. So first and foremost, let me shout out my guys, Marcus Marquis, Isaiah Wolf, prolific. We're gonna be taking over. I'm all up at the East Coast. You can catch me at Chaotic Wrestling. You can catch me at Limitless Wrestling. You can catch me in DC area, C3W. Shout out to my guy Richie, and Casino Hayes down there as well. You can see me wrestle at Warriors on YouTube. You can see me all over the place, and the places just keep on coming. You can follow me on Facebook, Tyree D. Taylor. You can hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, on T_Taylor347. And, my inbox is open. My comments are open. You can get exactly what you're getting here right in the DMs, know what I mean? Right in the comment section. All right? So I'm not a hard man to reach, know what I mean? You can catch me there.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. Once again, I love the enthusiasm, man, from you, man. I appreciate you joining me here on the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. You're welcome anytime, my guy. So wish you the best of success throughout the rest of this crazy year. And keep pushing at it, man. Keep pushing at it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, man. Man, you've been rocking it too, brother.
Appreciate it, my guy.
Cool it down. Save some fire for the rest of us.
Appreciate it, guy. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Yo, Tyree Taylor, man. I appreciate you joining me here on the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling this week, man. A big man in the wrestling business, man. I can't wait for your success, man, for you to get further in your career, man. Keep pushing at it. Prolific, man. Keep doing your thing, man. Black man in the wrestling business, man. Keep doing it. You're welcome here anytime on the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. You dig, man? So you guys, man, go check out my man, Tyree Taylor, man. Go check his matches out. Dope performer. But you guys, man, don't forget to follow the 1130 podcast on Twitter at Dreonwheels. Follow the 1130 Podcast on Instagram at the 1130 Podcast. Like the 1130 Podcast on Facebook. Subscribe to the 1130 Podcast on YouTube, you guys. And if you would like to be a guest here on Talk Pro Wrestling, email me, the 1130 Podcast at gmail.com. That's the 1130 Podcast at gmail.com. Appreciate you guys, man, joining me here for a new episode. You dig, man? It was a fun one, man. My man Tyree Taylor, man. Great dude, you guys. But yo, this your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels, and I'm out.